Their head coach Dave Canales. Oh, my fault.
Oh no, you good. You good. What's good, y'all? We back again. Got the fellas back again, man. Another good day when I get to talk football with y'all. But this is Beyond the Game podcast. Got my dog F Dot, my dog Mike, man. How y'all boys doing today? I guess D Marsh, he on old head Thomas, so I guess he'll be here once the geriatric center give him his pudding and shit.
Don't let him hear that.
Nah, thanks. Man, I'm doing good. I can't complain, man. Good to be on here with you, man. With y'all, man.
Yep. Love being on here when I can.
Yeah, of course,
Always
man.
good discourse.
For sure. So today, we'll be going over the NFC and possibly see, man, if it is a realistic. See if anything is realistic that somebody can dethrone the Eagles to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. But we'll be going through all the conferences just to see, what teams might shake it up, if there are going to be any new teams to win a division. And so on and so forth, man. So, D Marsh, how you doing, OG?
I'm good. What's going on?
Man, another day in paradise, man.
You know it.
Getting closer to the season. What is it, like 4 more Sundays or something like that? I know next week.
Preseason.
We got the Hall of Fame game, right?
Yep. So, first game of the preseason.
Yeah.
Excited.
Right around the
finally, man, we can stop, talking all of these past what ifs, and you young guys can stop being nasty about comparing unicorns to dudes that ain't done yet. I know D Marsh would have lost his fucking mind here in Pickaside. Pickaside had did this thing. I want to tell D Marsh where they was comparing like the Hall of Fame players to the new players on the team. Like they did Chad Ochocinco versus Jamar Chase. They did like Dwayne Bowe versus Rashee Rice. Like they kept going down the line. I was like, oh shit. I was like, some of them dudes, bro, you just gotta. I kind of feel where Marsh at. You can't say is this guy better than a nigga with a gold jacket. Like that's just so nasty because there's so many caveats to it. Because I know D Marsh can attest to it. Bo Jackson probably was going to be the greatest football player of all time. And then you saw like that, career got ended short. So a guy could have a trajectory where he could be better than whoever. But football is a violent game, man. You never know what's around the corner. Of course, we don't wish nothing on nobody. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, these guys just need to play out their careers,
and I do understand the point that you guys make about you guys didn't watch them every game. Like, because it's like the way that they were doing it, it's like you can't tell me that you were watching the guys that you compared the new guys with the same that you guys watched the new guys. You know what I mean? Like, you weren't watching those guys the same that you were the new guys, like when you're going that deep into it. So
I think here's the problem. And I was having a conversation with one of my homeboys about it yesterday. The recency bias, the recency bias is out of control. Like you got to go do your homework, man. That's why we all went to school. You can't just you're not going to be able to skim through and Google and just watch a snippet of something and think you know everything about it. You can't check GPT history. You got to go do the goddamn homework. And that's the problem with a lot of these young people. They don't do no homework at all. They just all, and I hear it because I kind of, I be surfing sometimes, shit pop up on my timeline.
Yeah.
And all they just keep throwing out is these stats. I played pro football for 12 years. Stats can be misleading.
Mm-hmm.
Just if you just going by stats and you ain't taking that shit in context and really you didn't really watch it, you're not gonna get the same effect because you wasn't there.
I think football stats can be the most leading out of all the sports, to be honest. Because baseball, honestly, you can look at the stats and you can see who is the best hitter and who's not. But like in football, it's low key different because there's 11 guys on the field. Coaches matter a lot. There's so
22.
many things.
You need 22. You need 22 or 33, however you want it, because it's 3 facets of the game. You got, your special teams, your offense, and your defense. So in basketball, one guy can affect the game. Like he could take over a game because it's 5-on-5, and that's really what it is. We all grew up playing 21 and shit, and you know what I'm saying. So it's different. You can't. There's no just you gotta when you talking about icons, you talking about legends, you talking about guys with gold jackets. You talking about NBA? What is it? What is theirs? Navy blue. You talking about guys with Hall of Fame busts? Like, come on, man. I'm not going to argue with a idiot who was born in the 2000s about something that they don't know shit about. I'm just not doing it, and that goes for sports and music. You don't know because you wasn't alive. So really, everybody's entitled to their opinion, right? But I'm not. Your opinion don't matter.
Or at least go back and watch. That's one reason I'll probably give Mars a little credit. I know you probably don't watch Player's Choice, but when I was like around Mars on them PC weekend things we used to do, he actually be watching them old games. Like he'll pull up like not highlights, D-Marsh, full game. And then that's why I was like, I kind of got a lot more respect for him because a lot of times what they do, D-Marsh, they'll watch these highlights and that shit don't do it justice. And even going back and watching the rewind really don't do it justice, but it does it more justice than these young cats that just watch highlights. Like when our first ever viral clip when they was talking about Jerry Rice and that shit getting locked up now. I'm like, man, that video, first of all, that highlight tape was slowed down so you can really see his technique, jackass. Like Jerry Rice wasn't running that slow, bro. Like,
but bam,
on top of it.
But bam, not to cut you off. Watch this. I'm gonna point something out to you. This is the most craziest shit ever. These young cats talking about that shit'll get locked up, right? Today, guess who the DBs he was going against? Deion Sanders, who everybody, even the YN say he top dog. We all agree it's a top 5 and he's at the top of that list in some way, shape, fashion, or form, right? Rod Woodson, Daryl Green. He was going to Aeneas Williams, like Eric Allen. Like these are Hall of Fame dudes. So you sound dumb. Like,
and he was exceeding.
He was in an era where them safeties can really come down and really crack your ass. He was going
even at that, like if you watch this game, you can clearly see in any generation or era, he can clearly play and be dominant and be the best in his position. It's just like you guys just go back and really look at some of those older guys. A lot of those guys can really play in this generation. I be trying to tell the other YNs, I'm a YN, but I try to do my best service to go back and really watch at least rewinds or stuff like that, so I can kind of get more acclimated with just the older generation game. And I still got so much respect and love for just the older generation.
Another thing,
it wasn't like Jerry was just getting slant. I was saying it wasn't like Jerry was just a possession receiver getting slants. Like that was not it. He was doing
he taking that bitch 80. Yeah. He going fade. He going post corner. He ran every route in the route tree. And he wasn't the most physically gifted guy. So here's another thing that I have a problem with. We got to stop saying, he's 6'5", 240. He runs a 4.3. That don't mean shit. Jerry Rice ran 4.6 something, 6'2", 190 pounds. And he got 22,000 receiving yards and over 200 touchdowns. Ain't nobody ever gonna get close to that rate. The closest one was Larry Fitzgerald. And he got like 17,000. That's like 5,000 away. Like, and they throw the ball way more in today's game. That's the crazy part.
He got 1,200 at 40.
Come on, bro. Yeah, with my Raiders doing nasty. So he wasn't a longevity guy, stat pattern. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Jerry Rice was a first ballot Hall of Famer after the 49ers stint. He didn't have to play another down of football.
He's probably he could probably play. He could probably not have played 3 years. Like, he could have retired 3 years early just with the 49ers stint, and he still would have been a first ballot.
Yeah.
But that's
not even just that. It was like you could take out 3 or 4 years.
And then on top of that, too, Jerry Rice is the reason you see 4 wide, 5 wide, 3 trips, all of that. Like, again, I don't think kids understand. Like, do you like them same receivers we love today? Do you think they put up them same numbers with having a tight end and a fullback out there the whole time? Like do these dudes win and I love Jamar Chase. Like, do these dudes win the Triple Crown without being able to get them little what they call them RPO, them little quick little that little just pop it out there. Do they still come up with 1,700 yards in a season with that being the offense? You see what I'm saying? Like, so
I don't. You gotta factor in the physicality though, dog. That's the big deal. You couldn't run across the middle and not fear for your life back then. The rules are. Just listen to what I'm saying. I'm not taking nothing away from this generation. I'm just saying it's certain shit you just can't do no more, and that allows for people to, like, if I was a receiver and I know I could just run any route and ain't nobody gonna put no forearm in my chin, I'm probably gonna just do my thing too. It's just different. And Lawrence Taylor said something. He was like, dude, you can't barely breathe on the quarterback now. Back in the day, the quarterbacks didn't have no safety net. Like, you was getting hit. Your ass was getting hit. So you
early 2000s.
That's my whole point. It's like, it's different now. I'm not, once again, not taking nothing away, because there's certain guys in this generation that could play in that generation. But I get irritated because I face some of these dudes. Like, Chad was nasty. Ocho was nasty. I don't care what nobody. He's a Hall of Fame guy. He's one of the best to do it, bro. So I don't, all this comparing, bro. But nobody.
You know how the Hall of Fame works. They didn't like how Chad wanted to be how he celebrated, and because he didn't have the best longevity, then they just pick and choose what they want to value when they want.
But I'm saying not even the Hall. I'm talking about just real talk, like receiver covering it. Man, these young cats so disrespectful because they couldn't do half the shit Chad could do.
No, not with the feet.
He's still a top 3
Nobody has better feet than him.
It's still to this day not a lot. So
even when you talk about Steve Smith, Torrey Hope needs to be in the Hall of Fame. What are we talking about right now?
Yeah, and them Jaguar receivers too. I feel like they don't get.
Oh, Keenan McCardio and
Jimmy Smith.
Jimmy Smith.
They don't get enough love, but
hey, them two plus Fred Taylor.
Yeah, plus Fred Taylor. Because when you look back on their careers and look back on their numbers, bro, like they have fun. They was going crazy down there. And
was going crazy.
They was going crazy down
that 1 year with Mark Brunell. Ooh.
Thunder and lightning.
Guy that I will hammer on the table for at a penny. I think he's the most I wouldn't say the most. I think he's the most underrated player ever. Like Fred Taylor. Nobody talks about him, and he was getting 1,000+ yards every season, other than the years he was injured with dog, except for like maybe a year or two.
I'll throw a name in there. That's him. I think him and Fred Taylor don't get talked about enough. Corey Dillon.
Ooh,
yeah, he was tough too. He was tough.
Corey Dillon.
Corey Dillon was tough. It was a few running backs back then. What, Curtis Martin? It was Corey Dillon, Curtis Martin. Who was the other dude in Cincinnati though? Rudy. What was his name? Rudy.
Oh, you talking about 32?
Yeah, Rudy something, bro.
I know what you're talking about.
Dog, I'm so mad. I remember his, but he used to tote that. He used to tote that shit insane, bro. Captain Insano. Then you had my man over in Carolina, Deshaun.
Deshaun.
Stephen Davis.
Rudy Johnson
too. Rudy Johnson, Rudy Johnson was too.
Deshaun was nasty too. We played against him 2 years in a row at UCLA. He was nasty too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you probably know from experience about them dudes right there, because I think that's like around your era for sure, bro. Like that's what I was saying, dog. Like I remember like growing up, bro. Like as a kid, as a young little YN, 4th, 5th grade, bro. I was blessed to be in that era to like really watch all of them dudes live. Bro, like when I say like I felt like I was in the golden age of running backs, like that was like
even Trent
every time you turned it on, like it was wild.
Trent, who was the one that you were having the back and forth with on Bo originally, like he even says like that those running back, like that running back era was so deep that he gives it to those guys too, because there was just so many of them.
Dude, you talking
about McAllister? It was so many people.
Deuce was nasty. You talk about like the 90s going into the 2000s.
Yeah.
No, yeah, like Steven Jackson. Nobody talks about.
You talking about Clinton Portis? You talking about McGahee? You talking
Jamal
about
Lewis?
Jamal Lewis was nasty.
Lewis.
Priest Holmes,
Priest
Yeah.
Charlie Garner in the with my Raiders, nasty. It was some guys, but I mean, like once again, the game is just so different now, and it even in all sports, it's a money game. So you're not really. I don't think you're getting the same passion.
I think they've just valued offense because
they
I don't even
want to
think they
sell. They
value.
want to
I
sell
just think they
tickets.
value money, bro.
They want to sell tickets, and
value money.
in their minds, they think just like with the NBA, they think, oh, if we change the rules and we allow the offense to score more points, that's gonna be more exciting. People want to see motherfuckers get their heads knocked off too.
Yeah.
I love them Raven games in the late 90s, early 2000s. That was like 12-6.
I don't want to sound, I don't want to sound like no, slave owner, but I mean that's football, bro. Like we knew what the sport used to be back in the days where it was bull in the ring. Like, bro, that was a sport. It's a gladiator sport, bro. I get it. You wanted to be more safer, but shit, bro, go play something else, bro. Like I used to love, worried about the dangers of going across the middle and a linebacker rerouting your ass and making your helmet sit on top of your head, bro. Like that was just what football was, bro. Like now it's this money grab game.
They could do it though, Bam. So here's the deal, and this is what I propose. This is just what do I know? I love the game. I'm a former player. I want to see it go to this level. With the money that they generating, I know they worried about getting sued with the CTE shit. Look, just like all of our vets, because my daddy, my granddaddies, they all was in the service. So at the end of the day, you make so much money, you generate so much money. We pay dues. The year I was in the NFL, I pay into dues, right? So they make so much money, they can defer. They could take a chunk of money. They could take it from somewhere. It's 32 teams. They all could pitch in because you get your TV revenue. You get it's revenue sharing, all this shit, right? They could put like anywhere from 50 to 100 million every 2 years or every year into a interest-bearing account, right? Let that shit just sit there and grow. So when all these players are done retiring, if you are vested in the National Football League, just like if you go serve our country, you should never have to worry about shit for the rest of your life. Medically, school-wise, you should be able to buy a house, all that shit. It should because you gave your service and put your body on the line. So they can do that. You get what I'm saying? That's where I think we're losing the mark here, or we're falling short of the mark, because you having players that are done and they on bullshit with trying to get that medical.
Yeah, they're just worried. I think they're worried about the youth football dying out because of it. That's why they got rid of the Oklahoma drills and all that stuff, because even around my age in Oregon, they didn't outlaw that stuff for youth football until later. And a lot of my friends had to quit because they were just like, broken collarbones, concussions, and that's the stuff that they're worried about. And at the end of the day, I mean, it's football, bro. If you're
can I ask
about getting killed, then don't play. Like that's just how it is.
Can I ask you a question? Not like on some funny shit, but I'm trying to figure out. We had lesser equipment in terms of technology wise when I started playing football. You know what I'm saying?
No one even knew what concussions really were. No one understood the long-term effects. You know what I mean?
Right, but still, when you get your bell run, as long as you got to the. So I remember in all my career playing football, I had 2 serious concussions that I knew like this shit is scary. Like I couldn't focus. Like that only happened twice. Yeah. But when we talking about Pop Warner High School and shit, you got your bell run, you get to the sideline. What's your name? Dante Marsh. Where were you born? Oakland, California. What year? 1979. What city are we in right now? As long as you can answer them questions, you sit out a couple plays, get your ass back in there. Yeah. What I'm saying is, for the youth game, because I know here in California, they try to like get rid of that shit too. Like we had to sign petitions and stuff.
Yeah.
How is it such an epidemic today with better equipment? And the shit we was playing in was nowhere near the technology now. I don't understand where all these concussions and this crazy shit is happening from. That's
a good question. I really don't. I don't understand it either. I don't understand how things can kind of get crazier, even though we have better technology and we know more about how just the medical side of things and football deals with. I really don't understand that. You're right. That's a good question.
Because we had some helmets I first started with.
Mm-hmm.
Max Pro. I had a Rydell one year, like the hard shit on the inside.
Yeah, there were studies saying that it was making the concussions worse, like than it would be if you just got your head hit on the ground. Because
that's what I think too. Because I had the regular 3-bar Dion, and like you said, Marsh, it only had like the little spider air, the little spider web.
Yeah, that's the old school air helmet.
The old school air.
Yeah.
But I never got a concussion. When I went to the Revo Speed, the first game I went to the Revo Speed, bro, we was playing Butte. And like I had hit with somebody, like I couldn't even fucking talk. Like they was asking me questions and stuff, and I was like, I'm never wearing this fucking helmet again. And it got all the pads, got the fan up in there, got all the everything you need, like everything. Like it was a built-in apartment in that motherfucker. When I played with that helmet, I was just like, bro, I'm going back to my old bitch.
Cause look, they took my helmet away from me because that was like the transit. Cause my last year playing was 2014, so I still had the old school air helmet with the blue bladder in there. I like the way the helmet look. I've been wearing it since Little League. Like it's cool.
Superstition thing,
yeah, like the shut shit air helmet, right? So they came out with the new one, and it was the same shell. Like a regular helmet, because I don't like them helmets y'all wear now. They look like fucking Predator's helmet. That shit ugly. You know, I'm in the style and shit too. So the new shut came in, but it had a bladder. It had the gel pack shit, but it still had the old school outside with the regular face. You know, the Dion face mask and shit. We call it Dickerson. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I wore that, but I did not want to give up my helmet till they took that shit because it was like outdated. And I was like, man, why y'all take my helmet? But I never really had an issue in that helmet. It was when I got that newer shit. Yeah. So that's crazy. With the technology, you still getting, it's like worse. I've never seen this many young kids with concussions.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Never.
Also, too, man, that could probably just be because, you know, they just soft spot. They just got more kids born with soft spots.
Yeah.
Hey, they don't drink the fire hose. Y'all don't drink water. Fire hose no more,
outside
man.
water hose make you immune.
We was drinking that growing up too. Right? We still was around when niggas was making up the fire hose and stuff. We was out there.
But
y'all think it's a technique? My fault. One more thing. Y'all think it's more of like a technique thing, like tackling wise? Y'all think maybe that's why? Maybe like different techniques getting taught?
No, because I've been coaching for the last 12 years. I was a phenomenal tackler at DB. Like I'm a toot my own horn on that shit. I could tackle hella good, open field by myself, no problem. When they started trying to, like my last training camp, they started trying to teach us this new way of tackling and shit. I was like, that shit ain't for me. Like I'm near hip, same foot, dip it, hit the shoulder, keep the chin up. You know what I'm saying? I used to like put my face in that shit. Like, you know, that's what we do all them shrugs and shit for. So it's football at the end of the day. Now obviously, spearing, you asking for it. But like I'm talking about, I used to put my face in that motherfucker, like, because if you can't see what you hit, then that's when you're in trouble.
Right,
so I've made tackles where I go in hella low because that's the only thing I could do, and I throw my forearm in there with my helmet. You get what I'm saying? And I done blew some shit up, but you tackle, get them on the ground, man. I was just good at tackling, wrapping up, getting there. You know, it wasn't no, you know, I think for me, the biggest fear was spearing, because that was back in the 1990 when I first started playing tackle football. We always talk about spearing. You got to keep your head up and see what you hit. So we was taught that way back then. And, you know, we never had any issues. Nowhere near the issues that are going on currently in youth sports today. You gotta.
The top of the head is like the weakest part. That's where if you get hit there, that's the worst.
Or right here.
Yeah, but like the forehead, I feel like is the most compact. Where if you make contact with it,
like right here.
Yeah,
when I used to hit with my face. I didn't have no problem.
Yeah, I played fullback. That's what I always used to lead with right there.
The one that I got real scared about was I was playing on the backside of a tight end, and I filled the D gap. They ran counter, and I came in the hole because I didn't have nobody to cover. I didn't have no pass responsibility, so I just hit the D gap, and then motherfucker done jumped through. He done came through the hole, and he kind of jumped. So I went low to flip his ass, and I had to watch it on film because I don't remember. So when I watch it on film, his knee hit the back of the top of my ear, like somewhere around here. And I just went, boom. And I was trying to get up. I couldn't move my arms, my upper body, nothing. My ass was just moving. I'm face down. I was knocked. And I'm trying to get up, but I couldn't. And then my homeboy, Aaron Hunt, who played D-line, he yanked me up and was like, come on, Morris, come on. And I was so scared because I couldn't zero in. My shit was just like was thinking,
when you get put up like that fast, like the best way when you get dinged is to get up slow, because then that's how your perception doesn't get affected.
It wasn't me. He grabbed me.
I know. Yeah.
And if he wouldn't have picked me up, I'd still be laying here. Damn near 12 years later. So, but when I watch it on film, it didn't look like nothing crazy. But I guess knee hit the side of my helmet here, and I just went dead. And I was like, that was the most scariest shit ever. But I mean, you get to the sideline, that your trainer checks, you ask you all your questions, you answer them. But I just couldn't focus. Like my focus, you know how like a camera just out of focus?
Yeah, it's
and
like that.
Blurry, that's what my eyes was seeing. And I just like, God, please don't let me stay like this forever. You know what I'm saying? Right. And once I kind of came to, I was like, shit. But yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and get into it, man. We're finna break down the NFC division this year to see what teams possibly could come out of each division, and if any of y'all think that anybody will be able to dethrone the Eagles, because it looked like it's probably gonna go through them for a good little while until that team is able to break up.
That team,
that team is nice, but we'll start with the NFC South.
I just need to preface this before we start. My Raiders are gonna get 10 wins this year. We're going to the playoffs.
Hey, I do like Pete Carroll, man. Pete Carroll, he can turn some shit around, man.
Next week we'll get into that because we'll see. That's gonna be tough right there, especially that division.
It's gonna be tough. They did just.
But yeah, we'll start in the NFC South. This was Division 1 by the Buccaneers last year. Has the Saints, Bucks, Panthers, and the Falcons up in there. I want to start with the Panthers. They 2025 draft picks Tech McMillan, Nick Scored, and Prince Umanim Milan from Ole Miss, number 1. Trevor Etienne, Lathan Ransom, Cam Jackson, Mitchell Evans, and Jimmy Horn to round out all their draft picks. They finished the season last year 5-12. This year they start off with the Falcons, Patriots, Dolphins, and Cowboys. I want to know what would y'all think right now. What I'm thinking, they easily could start the season off 2-2 or 1-3, looking like. Just really depends. 3-1 on a good time. But what do you guys think about the Carolina Panthers and this division right now as well?
I think Carolina defense. I like J.C. Horn. Ain't he over there?
Mm-hmm.
I like it, man. He nice. I think defensively, Carolina is a team historically that was like always on the cusp. Even the Jake Dale home days and shit like that. So they've had receivers, they've had great defenses, they've had some good quarterback play. Cam Newton, Steve Smith. You had what's my man that was at Michigan State?
Michigan State.
You say who?
What's my man that was at didn't Musheen get over there?
Yeah, Musa Muhammad. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're a team that's intriguing. What I feel like is quarterback play. If you can get a pretty good quarterback, you could weather the storm. Good running game, above average quarterback, and you don't have to have a phenomenal receiving core. You just got to have some pieces in place that can make plays. because defensively, I think they'll be okay. I don't see the Cowboys being that much of a threat. They are every year they got a good ass roster on paper, but they never really put it together. Atlanta, I kind of soured on Atlanta. But once again, in that division, I think it could be a toss-up. You get surprises out of there. And then Tampa Bay going to do what Tampa Bay do. They either going to be very good or not very good. Defensively, I like Tampa. Who's the quarterback now?
Baker Mayfield.
Oh, Baker Mayfield. Hey,
yeah.
Shit could get interesting.
So let me ask you, these first 4 games for Carolina, you got the Falcons versus you got Falcons at home, you in New England, Dolphins at home, and the Cowboys at home. What do you think the Carolina Panthers record could be with the first 4 games? Because Dante, in pro football, the first 4 games will tell you everything you need to know whether you go make the playoffs or not. You got to get off to a good start.
Not necessarily. I mean, if they got the Dolphins at home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they got 3 home games.
Arizona too.
They got 3 home games versus the Cowboys, Falcons, Dolphins.
That's not an easy 4-game stretch, though. I'm beyond
it. It's not easy, but they could be 3-1 or 2-2. Because if they got 3 of the first 4 at home, that goes in their favor at least a little bit. You got home field. I mean, I like them to be able to beat Miami. I don't know about the Tampa Bay game. That Dallas game is going to be interesting. So I think you were good with your assessment at 3-1 or 2-2. But once again, it's going to come down to quarterback play. I think, anyway.
All right.
Personally, I probably see probably 1-3 or 2-2. I think that Dolphins game, they can definitely go in there and win that game. Not easily. It's still going to be pretty tough, but I think they can go in there and get that. The Falcons game, I like Michael Penix. I'm high on him. I think that defense is going to be a lot better than what it was last year, especially on the edge rushers, pass rushing. And that secondary was already good. It's just the pass rushing last year was terrible there. So those guys was just, in the backfield for so long. I mean, at some point, you're going to give some plays. So that Falcons game is going to be a little bit tough. I mean, it's a division game, so you know how those division games go. It can go either way. But I probably would go with the Falcons that game. And then the Cowboys so tough. Like D Marsh was saying, they just you never know with them. Like the roster, we looking at them right now is like they can be tough. They can be real tough this year. I mean, George Pickens and CD.
In the regular season, when they're healthy, they usually make the playoffs if they have a good team. But
they do.
In the what's it called? In the playoffs, it's a whole different story.
Season.
Yeah, whole different story. I think we'll still go to Cowboys too, because defensively, I still think they got pieces around there that can make plays. I like Overshawn. I like Micah. Let's see when Diggs come back healthy. And what's other bro on the other side? I forgot his name. Bland. He comes back healthy as well. They still got pieces.
Deron. You talk about Deron.
Deron Bland. Yeah, Deron Bland. Yeah. I like the rookie.
He went to Fresno, didn't he?
He went to he from Modesto. He went to Sac State first.
Sac State.
Then during COVID, he transferred to Fresno and got drafted out of Fresno. But it's a reason why I think they secondary was playing well, because their corners coach was a guy.
Yep, and then now he's gone.
Was a guy.
Al Harris was a beast, boy.
Al Harris. Shout out Al Harris, man.
Mm-hmm. So I want the Cowboys to do good, because every year they supposed to be good, but it's kind of like they haven't done shit since the 90s either. It's kind of like the 49ers situation. So when we be having these arguments, because I'm a diehard Raider fan, and by the way, they will always be the Oakland Raiders. I don't care if they play on Mars, they're gonna always be the Oakland Raiders. Anyway, when you talk about not winning, okay, you got 5, we got 3. It's not like you got 10 and we got 1. So it's pro football, ever since free agency came into play in the early 90s, it changed shit, because ain't no one team just finna run the table like that. Now, I'ma just say this: as long as Patty Mahomes is healthy, Kansas City got a shot, right? Yeah. It's guys like that. So I want Dak to have success. It's fucked up the way with social media how people just can get on and they don't, everybody got an opinion, but I think he's a good quarterback. He get too much blame for the failures, and he don't get enough credit for when he wins. But that's the nature of the business. You're talking about the coaches and the quarterback get too much credit for the wins, and then they get too much blame when shit go wrong. So I mean, I guess it comes with the job. But I would love I would love for the Cowboys to have some type of resurgence.
Yeah, so I'm seeing. I just pulled up their schedule.
They won't
They
do
play-
anything to. They won't. We gonna get into the Cowboys. We just in the NFC South right now. We'll get to them. Just 1 second. Let's move on to the Saints. Saints 2025 draft picks: Kelvin Banks, Tyler Show, Vernon Broughton, Jonas Sanker, Danny Stutzman, Quincy Riley, Devin Neal, Maloki Matavayo, and Falati Diggs. This is a team, as of right now, their depth chart, they have Tyler Show starting.
I'm so mad that they
Rashid Shaheed, Brandon Cooks. Yeah, this is
the worst team in the NFL.
Yeah,
easily.
Tyler Show, wow, what? What was in the decision making?
Their first four games.
Kellen Moore.
So I want to ask you guys this: their first 4 games will be. Hold on, let me get back to it. Their first 4 games at Seahawks, at Bills, versus the Giants. This won't be easy. I'm telling people that. And versus the Patriots at home. So they have the Giants and Patriots at home. They go to Seattle and go to Buffalo. What do you guys think their first 4 games will fare out? And how do you feel about the Saints right now?
They can literally go 0-4. Seriously.
0-4 or 1-4 or 1-3.
1-4. Seriously.
Dante, what would be the one game you think they win?
The Patriots not really making no noise, man. The Patriots
are going to be bad.
Do they play the Patriots at home?
Yeah, they play the Patriots at home, but they got who's the coach they got over there now? And their defense.
Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, Mike Vrabel and their defense, they got Gonzo.
Diggs.
Yeah,
and Drake May is not bad, bro. Drake May is good, bro.
They're not the Patriots we know.
Oh, so yeah, of course. They won't be. They gonna have a new identity.
Yeah, Vrabel gonna do his thing. Obviously, we don't know. That's still a question mark. So right now, today, you asked me this question. I think that'll be a game that you can look at. But because they're not stable. New Orleans is not. Ever since Drew Brees, it's just kind of been.
It's been rough.
Also, they don't.
You can tell they didn't have no plan after Drew. They just kind of was like, we just gonna rock it out.
They don't.
See how things
Number
go.
one, their defense was always solid these last couple of years, but now the reason for that was Dennis Allen. As much as people gave him crap for his head coaching job, now he's gone. Cam Jordan's only getting older. Marshawn Lattimore was declining, but now he's gone. I think basically the reason why they drafted Show was they're trying to tank, and they're going to tank for quarterback because they don't have any. Even the Patriots, honestly, have significantly more talent than them. Significantly, because their defense last year wasn't even bad. It was just their offense sucked so bad that they couldn't play well. But I think Drake May with Stephon Diggs is going to take a step up, and the reason why I say that is last year he struggled with making really 60% of the time I think he made good plays. I think he showed the ability to move the chains. The problem is that the 40% of bad plays were all turnovers. So if you can take that away by developing a run game, which I think Vrabel will do, I think that they're going to be able to beat the Saints because the Saints just don't have anything. It's the same thing with the Giants. The Giants' offense is not going to be good, but they still have Malik Neighbors, and that D line is going to absolutely kill the Saints. Even if Kelvin Banks becomes what Joe Alt was last year, which I doubt, even though I think that he'll be good, they don't have anything, bro. Nothing. They might get lucky.
Yeah, more than the Saints though, Tyron Tracy and Malik
Jalen. Yeah, I think Tyron Tracy is a lot better than what people.
Darius Slayton's still over there. Jalen Hyatt might
have nice, bro.
I don't know.
Y'all got to realize too, everything is in context. We talking paper champs right now.
Yeah,
motherfucker get out there in the first week or so, or in the last preseason game, and somebody tear a labrum, somebody do a pet, a lot of shit can change, and you have guys who weren't expected to do shit. It's gonna be surprise guys.
Yeah.
It happens every year. So
Yeah.
you kind of go, you got to go with what you know when you're talking about the pro game. You kind of got to go with what you know until you know, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, you're talking about the Saints tanking. That might be a strategy so they could get Arch Manning.
Yeah, I think that's but it also doesn't make sense. Like, you could have just not drafted Tyler Show. You clearly overdrafted in the second round.
And it's not like they didn't have Spencer Rattler either.
They just
Well,
I think Kellen Moore just sees something in Tyler Show that he thinks he can create, which I don't think he can.
I think when you're drafting from a general manager perspective, we don't know what's going to happen next year. We could have this idea of tanking, but then what if, let's just use Arch for example. What if he isn't who we think he is, or what if we're not in position to draft him?
Right.
Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Regardless, so you got to have insurance policies.
Yeah.
So you're on the table now. We got to fill the cupboard now for 2025.
Yeah, that's
so
a good point.
Who is we take best available and we play it. They playing out these scenarios. For those of you guys don't know, in the big boardroom, there's magnets, and you got names, schools 40 times, and they move these magnets around. This is real shit. What they do in that big boardroom. So you got to understand, like, the concept of it's all a crapshoot, y'all. So we not guaranteed whether we tank or not. Another team could tank worse than we did. Y'all get what I'm saying? So then they slide up a slide, and now they take them. So when you on the clock for this year, you got to get what you can get, and then maybe you might hit on a draft. Remember all this shit. Who would have thought Purdy was gonna turn out to be what he is?
Yeah,
nobody would.
Nobody.
Purdy in San Francisco. So it's a crapshoot. So when we draft these guys, we're drafting them based on projection and potential. So we think that they're going to be able to do this. And some guys are going to be what you thought they were, and some guys are not. And some guys going to be 7th round undrafted free agents that's out of control good. It happens every year. So you kind of shaking the dice. You in Vegas with this shit. If it ain't the first 3 rounds, you kind of in Vegas with this shit. And even then, because just because you had a great collegiate career does not always translate into a great pro career. I mean,
I just think Tyler Show sucks. I would have taken.
There was just so many quarterbacks they could have drafted over him in the second round at that. It's just like
Tyler Show.
There were so many quarterbacks on that board that's just like, and college-wise, played way better.
I do agree with I totally get what you're saying, and it
makes sense.
I just think, bro, draft.
They knew they was supposed to draft Shador, but
I mean, but guys,
Gabriel better. Like, it was more niggas than just.
Also, what we see. Okay, so let me tell y'all this real quick story. So I coached the NFLPA College All-Star Game 3 years. I was on Marvin Lewis staff 2 years. Shout out to Marvin Lewis. And I'm not gonna say no names, but there was a quarterback that was very good in college, or had a lot of hype too. And when I seen him for that week practicing, and then when we played in the game, So
wasn't Johnny?
No, I'm not saying no name.
No, yeah, so it was. Yeah.
So my point is that too. So like people on the outside looking in see what they see on Saturday in terms of the college game. But then when you actually see that shit, the way I was able to see it, and like I'm a part of the staff coaching this shit, and really like, wow,
you don't see that. Yeah.
He's stinky. And I thought he was, you know what I'm saying? So remember, those things happen too when they get to Indy. They checking them out at the combine. They're going through all the film. They're having the interviews, right? They're doing the pro days. And then when you go to these, if they're seniors, they go into these all-star games. The GMs and them scouts see a totally different thing than what the average public is seeing, if that makes sense.
That's fair.
So,
all right, moving right along, we're going to get into one of the funner teams of the AFC South. We got the Atlanta Falcons. They got Jalen Walker and James Pierce Jr. in the first rounds, Xavier Watts, Billy Bowman Jr., that's one of my favorite picks in the 4th round, and Jack Nelson. Their first 4 games will be at the Panthers, Commanders, Bills at home, and at the 49ers.
Damn.
Guys, I want to hear that. It sounds like a gauntlet, but I don't think the Niners going to be as good as what people think right now. I think they bedridden by injuries right now. They got Christian McCaffrey coming off that calf injury, which looked like an Achilles to me. But what the fuck do I know? I'm not a fucking NFL person, but it is what it is. But I honestly think the first 4 games, they can either be 2-2, 1-3, shit. But if the Niners are scheduled, because like I said, they ruled by their defense, they could be 0-4 too. But I like Michael Penix.
3-1 Hotlanta.
You said
3-1 Hotlanta.
Bills 49.
So you got at Panthers. I mean, okay. Yeah, you at Panthers, Commanders and Bills at home.
Okay.
And Bills is prime time, 7:15 on ESPN. So I'm assuming that's a Monday. And you got you're at the 49ers, and that is a Sunday night game at 8:20.
I'm not gonna lie, like I know a lot of people high on the Commanders, but team wise, I don't think they're that good on like team wise. Like I feel like the Falcons can kind of like match up well with them. Like they're real.
I agree. We can wait till the NFC East.
Yeah, we gonna do the NFC.
Oh wait, I just know they was on the schedule. So I think I low-key might take the Falcons.
Wait, Bama, are you sure? Because I'm seeing them playing the Bucks in Minnesota first, and then Carolina, and then Washington, and then Buffalo, San Fran.
It say 2025 schedule on ESPN. It say
the first 4 games though.
The first 2 games. Oh, I'm tripping. You're right. I'm tripping. So it is the Bucks. It is versus the Bucks at Vikings at Panthers versus Commanders. I'm tripping. I went too far down. You're right.
Hey,
those are tough.
I would never call them the Commanders. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Washington. Yeah, rest
of it. Redskins. I'm sorry.
I know people that that guy. He can't say that. I was a motherfucker.
They always the Redskins, man.
That right there. I see. I like Atlanta. I lived in Atlanta for 7 years. You know what I'm saying? Atlanta
too.
You know, I was a big fan of Vic. I think Atlanta could put some shit together. Y'all
at the Vikings with the night game too. That's the night game too.
Y'all might disagree. I think them Washington Redskins I like them. I like what I see because you got a good young quarterback and then you're adding pieces. So
yeah.
I mean,
but I just think
this division is kind of.
So you think they going 3-1 with these first? Because I still don't think they're going 3-1. I still think they go 1-3. The Falcons.
Are they Buffalo at home?
The first 4 games is versus the Bucks at Vikings at Panthers versus Commanders. I think
that's a tough.
The Bucks and Commanders, the only 2 they really got a chance. I'm trying to tell y'all, bro. The Panthers really finna spank them. They finna shake up this whole division right here, the Panthers.
Well, I think the tail of this division is Carolina versus Atlanta because I think the Saints are gonna suck. I think the Bucks are better than both of them, but I think Atlanta's interesting because I think that their floor. I think that they are a really good team, but I think what is gonna set them over the top is the 2 linemen that they got, or Walker and what's his name, and then also how good Michael Penix is. I think if Michael Penix isn't that good, if he's like average, then I think that they'll probably end up like 10-7, 9-8. Yeah. If Michael Penix is good and they can get pressure, and I think that they can be like legitimately one of the better teams in the NFC because their offensive line's good. Bijan's a dog, and then their secondary is still pretty good. They've got a lot of good pieces. Last year they just couldn't get to the quarterback, so it screwed them over.
I'm gonna say that.
That's my thing.
So they still got Michael Penix, Bijan, Drake London, Darnell Mooney, Ray McLeod, Kyle Pitts, Jake Matthews, Matthew Bergman, Ryan Newsel, Chris Lindstrom, Caleb Buchanan.
But that offense should be top 10 if Michael Penix can play. Michael Penix doesn't even have to be elite or anything like that. He just has to make the right plays and throw the deep ball, which he's very good at. As long as he's not making bad mistakes, like I think that they're going to be good offense.
When you talk about that, I agree with you. I'm saying we got to see the progression from last year to this year, even with Jaden Daniels, even with Love. Those guys, those are the guys that are on the rise. So if we can see that progression, that's what did I say earlier? It's going to be based on quarterback play.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you,
no question, he's accurate. When he makes the throws, he doesn't miss throws that often, and especially down the field, he can make a lot of throws.
Now, who's the starting running back in Atlanta right now?
Bijan.
Who's the backup?
Tyler
Algier.
Yeah,
Like they're gonna run the ball a lot.
Well,
you let them zones.
That division, all those teams historically gonna run the ball very effectively, and then you're gonna have a quarterback and you're gonna have some type of good receiver to launch that bitch to. I mean, that's the makeup of that division. Tampa Bay probably can kind of run it.
Yeah,
Baker Mayfield on his shit. Tampa Bay gonna run that thing. At least that division.
Yeah, which gets me to it. You got the Buccaneers. They draft picks Emeka Ibuka, Ben Morrison, Jacob Parrish, David Walker, Elijah Robertson, Tez Johnson to round out in the 7th round for their draft picks. Also, Shiloh was undrafted to that team, but he's been making a few plays in the
Camp Warrior.
Their first 4 games are at Falcons, at Texans versus the Jets, and the defending Super Bowl champions come to Tampa. How are we feeling about the Buccaneers in the first 4 games? I'm not as high as everybody is on them.
I think this is the first team that you mentioned. This is barring specific things, but I think offensively they're good enough to compete with the Eagles. The problem is that their defense wasn't good last year. Their secondary wasn't good. And besides Vita Vea, honestly, they're like David is still a guy, but that like just Vea and David isn't enough to compete with their offense, with the Eagles offensive line. So I think if their defense can take a step up, then they'll be that they could contend, but I honestly doubt that. So they'd have to win in a shootout against Philly, and Philly could just run the ball on them. But I do think that they win this division because, I mean, Atlanta's going to you're going to have to beat them in the shootout because that O-line is really freaking good. And I think Emeka is going to be really good this year. And the 2 guys that they have other than him, unless Mike Evans becomes washed all of a sudden and Chris Godwin becomes washed, those guys, we know who they are. So I would say that they win the division. But due to that defense, I do think that, like, they're not unbeatable. They're not unbeatable, but those teams are going to have to put up points to beat them.
I think, what did Baker throw for, like 48 last year?
He had like 43 touchdowns. He had like 14 or 15 picks, but I mean, he still.
But he threw for damn near 5,000, didn't he?
Oh, yards. Yeah, he was like 4,500 plus, I think. Yeah, let me see.
Man, if he you got a chance. You got
4,500 exactly. Yeah, that's the thing though. Marsh is like, when he's on, he's like really freaking good, but he's not like accuracy. If you watch his tape, he misses throws sometimes, especially down the middle. But like he's good enough to where I'm not worried about him being bad. Like I think like if you can get pressure on him, then he'll make mistakes. But that offensive line is legit. That's the part of their team that I'm most confident is going to be.
I feel like Baker Mayfield set his receivers up too much, man. He throw them hospital passes, bro. That pass he threw to Godwin, he got that man leg snapped in half.
Yeah.
You know,
I remember that game.
Yeah, it was. He had no business throwing it, but whatever. He's a good.
Can't be blamed.
It was the last second of the game too. It was like
you can't know because Derek Carr, the reason why Chris Olave brains is motherfucking scrambled eggs right now.
Man,
that one pass, even Tom Brady has said that he was like, man, you can't throw that pass and have your receivers and think your receivers supposed to still have trust in you. Like that junk is like messed up. Like.
I agree with you guys, but what I'm saying is we can't start doing that. I mean, we playing football. That man under duress, scrambling, doing whatever he doing.
I feel it. You right.
He throwing the ball. We all get paid. We know what we signed up for. It ain't like he purposely want to get his.
Nah, of course not.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to run with that narrative. I mean, I think there's more wide receiver friendly quarterbacks that have played over the history of the game. But I mean, that again too is. Having guys play together for a year, 2 years, 3 years, and then now you got chemistry. Anytime you get, you got a turnstile at the QB position because Winston was there. They had a few quarterbacks before we got to this present day Tampa Bay Bucks team. So shit gotta start gelling and meshing. Them guys again going through OTAs, off-season workouts, and another season together should be good. And that's
I
what
think that has to do with pocket awareness.
right.
When
And
you get sped up, you start forcing throws because you don't want to get hit, or you don't want to take the sack because you don't want to lose yardage. And that's where I feel like that, like with D-Car specifically, he's not the most mobile and he doesn't feel the pocket as well. He can still read the field, but that was, I feel like, his biggest problem. And it's similar with Baker. I do think Baker's better in pocket awareness than Carr, and he's a little bit more mobile. But yeah, like I agree with your point though. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody's got to play fast, and there's going to be a lot of times where shit just happens, and that's just what it is. There's no ill will, but yeah.
And I mean, I don't think the Eagles, and I said this on one of the other shows, that the defending champs always got the X on their back or their chest. They always got
every week.
It's gonna be hard to duplicate last season. And the reason why I say that, like I was having this conversation too, I think Cam Newton has every right to have his opinion, and I it bothers me that so many people trying to talk crazy online about Cam Newton when he played that position at an elite level. On the biggest stages, he won the Heisman, he won a Natty, he took that Auburn team. You know what I'm saying? He was an NFL MVP. He took that 8-8 team to a 15-win team. And everybody can talk about is jumping on a goddamn fumble. Players fuck up sometimes too. You know what I'm saying? But we got to stop the.
I mean, it's like you can knock him for not jumping on the fumble, but I Greg Olsen, who I think was really the only guy on that offense. Their offensive line was okay. Oh, their running backs were good too, but Greg Olsen was, I think, one of the more underrated players too because he was nice. But like he talked about, he's like, you can't question Cam's toughness. Like that's the thing. It's like, bro, if you watched Cam, the amount of times he put his life on the line to get a touchdown, like you're not gonna tell me that he was scared of jumping on that ball. For some reason it didn't compute in his head, and that you can hold him accountable for. But like,
but
he also led that team to a freaking championship appearance.
That doesn't negate his greatness.
Yeah,
and this is what I was saying. And let me say this, guys. I'm not saying just because as a former player you don't know shit and shut up. I'm not saying that, but I feel like he's getting too much flack. Jalen Hurts is a good football player. He managed to get that. He helped that team win the Super Bowl. Let's give him his flowers. But as we know, there's levels to this shit.
Close to Cam, bro. He's not
right.
Fucking close.
There's levels to this shit. Yeah. And he didn't say he was trash. He simply said he wasn't a top 10 quarterback. Everybody got their panties in a bunch about that statement, and they're trying to slight Cam Newton for that statement. But if anybody's qualified to talk about quarterbacks, I think he's a guy that's highly qualified to talk about quarterbacks.
But I'm not gonna lie, he got his podcast. Not putting Jalen in the top 10.
I think top 10.
That's nasty. I
just don't like the world reacting the way they reacted.
But now, how everybody reacting, attacking the man, that's a whole different story. Now, if you just want to say that, you feel like Jalen.
It's nasty to try to act like Cam wasn't Himothy.
Exactly.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
Here's my argument, and I know Philly your team, but here's what I'm saying.
No, Hurts is his QB. Philly ain't his team. Hurts is his QB.
The team now, I'm okay. So he's kind of in that Brock Purdy frame of mind for me.
I think he's better.
No.
I'm not mad at you saying that he's in the same.
I do too, but what I'm saying is it's kind of like the same situation. I don't see Jalen Hurts. He's a great quarterback, just like Brock Purdy. They're doing their thing for their respective teams, right? What I'm saying is there's levels to this shit. I don't think, and this is just my opinion, right? I'm entitled to my opinion. I don't think those two guys could go get on another team and have success like they're having with their current roster. I don't think they're that type.
I don't think that Hurts is the playmaker like the top 5 or the top 4 is. But what I will say is this: Jalen Hurts in 2022, he showed that he had a way higher ceiling than what Brock. Because at least, that team had a good offensive line, but like he still played at an MVP level without a super team that he has now. That's why I give him more credit. And I do think last year, for some reason, whether it was due to the fact that they had Saquon and they changed to a lot more of a run team. They always have been a run team, but not like they were. I think that he had an off year, especially at the beginning. And I think this year I expect him to be, because there were like certain things like Jalen Hurts isn't the most accurate, but he's not inaccurate. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he could still push the ball down the field.
Deep ball,
Right.
his deep ball
Deep ball,
wasn't
he
there
got
was
one.
certain games
He
where he
fixed
just
that.
wasn't, where he was missing stuff that I hadn't seen him miss before. So I think that he had a down year and he's going to come back. But I do agree that he's just not. There's just certain he has holes in his game. Every quarterback holes in his game. He has holes in his game more than the top 4 for sure.
But this is what I'm saying. I think Cam made that statement based on 2,900 passing yards, and then you had a running back that went for like 2 G's. So that's almost.
But this is why I say, man. This is why I say a lot of athletes. You know what I'm saying? We don't be consistent because I do it too. On one hand, athletes would be like, "Oh, you don't need to worry about the stats. It's all about winning."
No.
Now, once Jalen Hurts win, now it's all your stats, not all of that.
No.
You need to put up more stats because think about it, OG. Everybody sit around and dicks up Justin Herbert. Oh, 5,000 yards, 40 touchdowns, 40 this, and he's a terrorist. Threw 2 pick sixes, 3 picks all in one game. Threw their ass slap out the game. You feel me? Told their ass good night. CJ really didn't have to do nothing against him in the playoffs. But here it is. You got this dude right here. Yeah, I get it. He don't throw the ball all over the field, but he gets you the max results, which is winning the game.
Oh, bam.
And now people throw his numbers in his face, bam. And it's just like,
I agree with you. But once again, what did I say a few minutes ago? I say coaches and quarterbacks get too much praise for when shit
that's true. That's true.
And then they get
that's true. That's true.
Now, when remember we had the conversation about all these old motherfuckers I was talking about, that elite class, like the Dan Marinos of the world. 2,900 yards is not elite. So it's not, hear me out. It's not just about stats. I've always said that. Just like when we talked about the Mike LeBron shit. It ain't just the 6 championships, the 2 3-peats. Look at all the other shit he's done. You get what I'm saying? Those add to it though. So I had a conversation with one of my alma mater, my young boy. Trent Dilfer was a first-round draft pick out of Fresno State. He got drafted to a very inept, not very good Tampa Bay Buccaneers organization back then. He was considered what? A journeyman, a bust, so to speak.
Use the definition of that.
But
like that's what started that. I'm not just. I'm just saying that's what he.
Right, but that's my point. Trent was phenomenal. He beat USC and Keyshawn in the Freedom Bowl in '93. I mean, we're going on projection, right? So he didn't have the pro career that everybody thought he would have had to be that high of a draft pick, but he won a Super Bowl nonetheless. So we can't hear me out. We can't have it both ways. Y'all get what I'm saying? We can't have it both ways. I mean, that there's levels. There's that elite level where they're the reason why they won that thing, and then there's guys that manage the team. I think Jalen Hurts right now is slightly above Brock Purdy. I don't. He's in the now. Remember, I said a few shows ago, people want an encore. Now, here's another crazy stat, real quick. In comparison, Lamar Jackson threw for 4,000, and he ran for damn near 1,000. And he had a running back that was what, 1,500, 1,600,
1,900.
Oh, damn near 2,000. That's a lot of fucking offense. But look at the passing yards, and then he ran for like 960 something.
And he had 43 touchdowns, 4 picks.
Bro. So that my point is, the stats do matter when we talking about this elite level shit.
Yeah.
Because his by himself did 5,000 yards by himself.
I ain't gonna lie though, to compare him arguably to.
I'm just. Are y'all following me?
I'm following you. I'm following you, but
we are.
I get what you're saying. Because this is why I say too, though. This is why I say it's kind of hard though, because when we talk about, I know it's college football, but when we talk about the greatest college football quarterbacks of all time, Cam name come up there. He only had 2,800 passing yards that season too when he won. Granted, I know the roster was like
I think the roster
horrible.
But
DTDs though. But
I mean, I just be like, dog, like it's just hard, bro.
But the college game is different too, though.
Yeah, you're right.
A hell of touchdowns too.
And that was a different era too, though. Like it wasn't.
Well,
like,
also he was playing in the SEC, and like there's no
SEC,
games you can really stat pad in SEC, especially with that offense. But
Yeah.
my only problem I totally agree with the idea that quarterbacks get too much blame when they lose and too much credit when they win. And this is what I was saying, especially the Green Bay game, the LA game. I'll give that Jalen Hurts did not play well, but like there also was a key drop
He
pass
didn't
by
play
AJ Brown when he
bad
threw
though.
that dot. No. I'm with you, but I'm just not going to argue it. But I'm saying with the Green Bay game specifically, if you watch the tape, Devontae Smith and AJ Brown were not getting open like that. They weren't getting open. And the only thing that you heard narrative wise was Jalen Hurts suck, Jalen Hurts suck, Jalen Hurts suck.
He
And I'm
don't.
not saying to totally excuse Jalen Hurts, but you have to keep it honest. Just because the AJ Brown and Devontae Smith are the second best receiving duo in the league doesn't mean that every time they step on the field, they play to their exact ability. They're human beings. So that's my thing where I totally agree with you that it's just like, if you're going to like judge a QB, you have to watch the tape. You have to watch the tape or at least like really look into it because like watch the games and look at the replays that they show you because they do a good job of showing you replays and context, but you've got
and that's what kind of what I was saying. If you watch the tape, when it comes down to crucial moments in fourth quarter, they lean on Jalen Hurts. And I'm like, if they just called a game like this all game, he'll be able to put up them stats, but they don't. They make an emphasis to run the ball, which I'm not mad at. You got Saquon Barkley, you got that phenomenal O-line. Run the fucking football. You know, I'm a former fullback. I feel it. Run the ball. You know what I mean? If it's not broke, don't fix it. But I feel like, you know, when they do call upon him, he answers at an elite level when it comes time to them crucial moments to win the game. Now, is he up there with the top four? Fuck no. I think Lamar Jackson to this date right now is probably one of the better black quarterbacks we have ever seen before. He a unicorn. It's no quarterback that's came before him you can compare him to. Like, so it's like
still taking Vic over Lamar. I'm
biased. I know you biased, but
passing wise, it's out the water though. It's out the water.
Lamar blew him out the water. I mean, rushing too.
Even in Philly,
but in Philly, he was that boy though.
Philly, he was nice. Philly, he was nice. Unlocked that boy. And y'all gonna hate me to say this. I said this. I told Twan this. Michael Vick is more comparable to Kyler Murray than he is Lamar Jackson. Like, if you look at their skill set, if you look at their skill set and how they play,
they got a better
those two more comparable.
Got a better form. Now, I'm gonna just take 30 seconds to spill this shit and we done with that Vic shit. The reason why I'm taking Vic over Lamar Jackson, I think Lamar Jackson is the second coming. It's kind of like the Kobe MJ shit, and I love Lamar Jackson. The only thing I think people don't really get to appreciate Michael Vick because I watched him because we was in college at the same time. To see what he single-handedly did at Virginia Tech to almost beat Florida State in that game, and then to see his progression, to see how he came into the league on some Randy Moss shit that first year, and he never really got to develop into being a real quarterback. Then after the little pit bull shit, and he go to jail and he come back and he get to be able to sit behind McNabb and Andy Reid, and then you get to learn how to play quarterback. That Michael Vick was crazy nasty. If he had more time in that situation, we might be having a whole.
But OG, his number one problem, Vic even told you, he didn't like watching film. What's Kyler Murray's number one problem? Don't like watching film.
Well, that
4-3 athlete.
That ain't even
4-3 athlete. Kyler Murray got a cannon. Kyler Murray got a cannon. 4-3. He's a 4-3 athlete, just like Vic. 4-3 athlete.
Got a cannon like that.
Kyler Murray got a cannon like Vic.
I wouldn't say he's stronger than Vic though. Vic cannon.
Vic got a cannon, but
I'll say what I think the difference is between them. I just think Lamar came into the league and he was more willing to learn the passing game, and I think Vic had to go. Like Vic had to have that, pitbull jail stuff in order to be like, okay, if I get another shot, I'm doing everything that I can. So from that standpoint, I do agree, but I'm gonna give Lamar the credit for being that guy out the gate, because also Vic was like everybody knew who Vic was coming out of high school and in college. So that's something like Lamar was not a highly touted prospect. People didn't think that he could play quarterback. So he got that realization at a young age. Like, I need to do everything I can to stay on this field because dudes are going to try to put me at receiver when I throw for 3,500 yards and 30 touchdowns at Louisville. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
So
that's
moving
really the difference.
I mean,
moving right
they're going
along.
to Florida State though. Killed them boys. I remember.
Nah, he was one play away. If Quick just would have got upfield instead of, I don't know what made that dude run out of bounds versus Clemson, they go into the national championship.
No, yeah, that's
like,
the other thing.
feel
Yeah,
so bad
Lamar
for Lamar,
was
bro.
like that Clemson team, and Deshaun was freaking like
Deshaun
that.
was really like
whole
that. Like
team was
Deshaun
crazy.
was on a different stratosphere for us.
Deshaun's
QBs,
one of the best
like,
college QBs ever, but
and nobody really
for
talk
another
about
day,
Deshaun at Clemson,
bro.
man. He was,
in 2 years in the national championship, might I add, Nick Saban has a month to prepare for your team. He put up over 1,000 yards on Nick Saban and 8 touchdowns. That is ridiculous to even think about right there. You give Nick Saban a month to prepare for your team. Usually Nick Saban wins. But the fact that kid put up 1,000 yards on them Nick Saban defenses, bro. Minka Fitzpatrick, Marlon Humphrey. It was Nick Saban had some names now. It ain't like, and it was Nick Saban and Kirby Smart. It wasn't just Nick Saban.
The T-Law year. Wasn't like the T-Law year.
Hey, listen.
Kirby was gone though.
Listen. Go back.
No, that's what I'm. No.
Oh, yeah,
I'm saying that the T-Law year. People talk about how those team, like that team wasn't the same. It wasn't the same.
It wasn't the same.
Yeah, y'all get a chance. I want you to go back and watch that '99 Sugar Bowl, Florida State and Virginia Tech.
I'm gonna go back.
I'll go back and watch it for sure.
I'm gonna go back and watch that.
So let's get into this team.
Vic was nasty. I'm just telling you.
We gotta get into these. Let's try to get a little bit of these conferences about the way we halfway there right now. But let's go to the NFC West right now. We'll start with the Dallas Cowboys. First round draft pick Tyler Booker, Donovan Ezeriaku, Siobhan Reveal Jr., my favorite player right here. This dude was working at Amazon. Listen here. Look out for this dude right here. 6'3" corner as well. Jaden Blue in the 5th round. Shamar James. Johnny Cornelius, right tackle from Oregon. Jay Toya from UCLA. Phil Moffa in the 2nd round. And Tommy Aking Bestoti. Their first 4 games is the Eagles nighttime game on NBC. Giants at Bears versus Packers, another nighttime game. Those are the first 4 games. What are your thoughts about? I'm gonna let Mike go first because he is the current Dallas Cowboys fan. Jared Jones also been putting his foot in his mouth in the media, talking about they're not gonna pay Micah or something like that, and it's kind of weird. But
I'm tired.
Let's go, Mike. I want to hear from you. First 4 games. What are your thoughts about the Cowboys ceiling expectations?
So my thing is that they're not beating the Eagles, and they're probably not beating the Packers either. Prime time, I'm not betting on them. If the Bears show something, if their offense can be legit, not even legit, if their offense can be good, then I think that they could lose to the Bears too, because that defense is crazy. If you've got a defense that's solid, then you can beat the Cowboys. But I do think that they end up 9-8, 10-7, because the Cowboys always have this thing where when you expect them to be like that, then they get injured or like whatever, they underperform, and when the pressure isn't there and when people aren't expecting them to be as good, then they surprise you in the regular season. And I do think I think the offensive line I'm very worried about. I think that Booker as a specimen, he's very big, but when I watched some of the college tape, I wasn't seeing that initial strength that I would like. Like, not saying that he's going to be a bust, but I do feel like there might be some struggles with him in his rookie year. So that offensive line might be an issue. Terrence Steele sucks, and Zach Martin's gone. But George Pickens and CD should be enough offensively to bring this team. What do you say? Yeah. Blue's actually my favorite guy that we got, because Blue's gonna get time too, because we don't have any other running backs, so we'll see how good he is off the gate, and I do think that he'll work. But I think the problem with the Cowboys has always been if you get pressure on Dak and you speed up his process, who do they have other than CD Lamb? Because he's not elite. He's not a guy that can run out the pocket. He doesn't have the best pocket awareness. But with George Pickens and CD Lamb, I do think that in the regular season they're going to cook. And I think that they get to 10-7, 9-8. And that defense, if Micah stays healthy, like that defense is going to be top 12, like, because their corners are good. I would say Diggs and Bland aren't like top. I would probably say they're not top 10, but they're top 15
Why
to
not?
20. Because I think when you look at both of those guys, this is my opinion on it too. I understand that, ball hawking and creating turnovers is very, very important. But if you have deficiencies coverage wise, then it becomes sort of an issue. Also, I think Diggs, his second ACL tear also scares me because he's never been the most agile. He's always had trouble with the more agile guys. So I think if he comes back with the same athleticism than he had, then he'll be in the top 10 combos for sure. But that's just my issue. And then Bland is similar in the sense of like, I've seen guys cook him one-on-one. Like I've seen Jackson Smith and Jigba give him real trouble. So I think it just really depends on, but I do think Eberflus is good. So I think if they play more zone and they're able to handle that, then that they can be good. But like my thing is with Micah, that's pretty much all they have on the D line. Then you have those two corners. Like their defense can get exploited.
If
They defense is carried by Micah and Diggs. I know
if Ezra steps up,
And
that's why.
And I'm not saying Diggs is trash or anything like that. I'm just saying like he has some coverage deficiencies, man on man.
I'm gonna say this.
Zone, he's one of the best in the league, though.
I'm gonna say this. I think DaRon Bland surpassed. This is my thing with Diggs. He's a turnover machine, right? But if you give me, it's kind of as a coach or a player, it's like what you want. So I think he's a phenomenal player pre-injury, right? Before DaRon even got there. He's a ball hawk. But if you're going to get 7 to 9 picks, but then you're going to give up 1,300 receiving yards, that's kind of like, I mean, it's counterproductive. Y'all get what I'm saying? Now with Bland, he set an NFL record with 5 or 6 pick sixes in one season. I mean, I think he's more of a complete football player. I think Diggs is more of a super big play guy, but like you said, he's gonna get turnovers, but damn, he's gonna give up a shitload of receiving yards. So I don't think they're outside the top 10 when healthy in terms of duos. I think that they're very capable. I think that front seven is gonna be the telltale. And then what is Dak gonna be able to do? Because it's now he gotta do something. You know how people.
What is year 11 for him, ain't it?
No, I know.
But this is
get
like
with,
shit.
You're on notice. People get with Dallas, so he gonna have to do it.
Yeah. It's about time for Dak,
10, 11 years, bro.
I mean, also it's like
Romo had the same leash.
Romo was better than Dak.
Listen to me though.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I think I'm not saying that either one is definitively better, but bro, Tony.
That was a catch, Mike. That was a catch. And then Jordan Babineau,
that doesn't mistake all of the other times he choked his ass off in the playoffs too.
But Mike, how many times does Romo go down there? We down 14. Romo give us a 3-point lead, and our defense just fucking shit the bed.
Dude, I
saw that thousands of times.
Dak's done the exact same
Dak
thing.
Don't do shit until the fourth quarter.
That's cap. What happened?
No.
What happened in his rookie year against Green Bay? When they were down 21-7 because their defense was stinky doo-doo garbage and Aaron Rodgers was cooking them. He brought them back 17 unanswered, had them winning the game, and then the Aaron Rodgers freaking pass 40 yards on rolling to the left and the freaking hand of God move right. Like, now, granted, Dak's had worse performances, but the really two only performances that he was trashing were against the Niners. And Romo, how many times did Romo come up against a defense like that? All I'm saying is that you can't tell me Romo may be more talented arm strength wise, and he may have more intuition in the pocket. But there was so many games where we had leads and he threw 2 picks, and then we lose that shit too. So it goes both ways for them. To me, there's not really that much of it.
Romo had a better cast offensively around him during his tenure, I think.
I'll say that 2000, I don't remember the year exactly, but his best teams.
Marco Murray.
Now, I'm not even talking
Marco
about
Murray, Dez.
That 2014 team Okay, but the 2014 team on
You talking about 2007, 2006 when they had like 11 Pro Bowlers.
That team is the best team that Ephraim had because in 2014.
But that play by Jordan Babineau is like the most freakish play ever, though. That was the most freakish play ever. First off, he did bobble the field goal snap, but Romo was like literally that close from making it in, and Babineau comes. I still don't understand how he was able to get there, bro. Like that was
crazy, bro. I know y'all was hurt. I would have been hurt seeing that. I would have been so hurt seeing that
for sure. Tony was a legit playmaker. Tony had some plays where it was like, damn, dude, this guy is freaking like, he might be elite. Like that was the type of plays he was making in the pocket. But there was way too many times where that shit didn't work out and it was a problem. But the 2014 and 2016 team, last thing I'll say, then I'll let y'all go. Both of those teams were insane offensively, but overrated as shit on defense because they were controlling time of possession so crazy in the regular season that their defenses looked way better than they actually were. And when you get into the playoffs,
Rod Marinelli definitely had them overachieving. They was an overachieving.
Yeah. Rod
did like the reemergence of Rolando McClain, though. He did make that defense a lot better for us in stopping the run and gave them like a physical identity. It was all right.
The corners were just
Church. Like, yeah, our corners was bad. Orlando Scandrick, he was all right.
Don't get on the schedule.
He was overrated, low key. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry.
But I like B Church though. B Church was a dog though. I fought with B Church though.
B Church was probably their best secondary player.
But he was old. He was older.
He seemed like he played for 30 years.
Yeah. Also, Brandon Carr was like.
Brandon Carr.
Oh my gosh, dude! He just forgot how to play when he got to Dallas. He was good at Kansas City, but when he got to Dallas, dude, it was just. I don't know, bro. You remember the OBJ catch was on him. Like I was just like, oh.
Yeah, but certain schemes fit. I mean, you got.
That's true. You right.
Yeah, you talk about Namdi get a lot of disrespect too, but. In Oakland, he was locked down. And then when he goes to Philadelphia, who plays more of an off-zone cover two,
because they had Asante.
Yeah, and you reading routes and shit in space, that wasn't his game.
Yeah, they were trying to use B. Carr like he was an island corner when he wasn't. That was their problem.
He was a cover two corner. That's what Kansas City run. They run cover two. Often.
Yeah, it just was so annoying watching guys just torch him one-on-one. Just stop. Stop with the one-on-one. Stop, please, bro. I used to cry over that shit back in the day when I was younger, bro.
Oh, you're terrible. Just stop.
Yeah, no, actually.
So we could move on to the Commanders. A team led by Jaden Daniels. They pick up Josh Cornerly, Trey Amos, Jalen Lane, Kane Madrano, Ja'Cory Merritt from Arizona, running back. Probably won't play. But first 4 games versus the Giants at home, go to the Packers. That's a Thursday night game versus the Raiders at home and at the Falcons. What do the first 4 games look like for the Commanders?
2-2. 2-2, because my Raiders don't get in that ass.
And who else you
really
think?
do wish. You really do wish.
Packers. It's going. That Thursday night game gonna be big.
Yeah, that Packers game gonna be tough.
I think that's gonna be tough. And then
don't sleep on them Giants, bro. That D line can get active.
The D line, the Giants gonna have a decent D line. I just don't think that team is not very good right now. That's what I think.
The Giants?
I could see them sneaking a
Their
little.
D line's crazy, but
yeah, they offense.
Secondary
offense maybe, but.
The D line
is Daniels though. He is
because Dante, they always been dominated by their D line though. They ain't never been a team that just rule with secondary and all that. It's always been a D line, and the fact that they got Abdul Carter, Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon Thibodeau, and Brian Burns.
Oh, one line.
Okay, so
Kayvon Thibodeau's the worst player on that.
That looks good on paper
sadly
today. So we historically, the Giants don't have a good front defensively. Now they have had good guys in the back end. They've had Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie. They've had other guys. They had my man that played at Texas back in the day, 31. I forget his name because he married the track.
Aaron Ross.
Aaron Ross. They've had guys, like they just weren't all together at the same time. You know what I'm saying? On point. But I think I don't see the Giants being. I think the Commanders / Redskins. Damn, they gonna always be the Redskins. But I think Washington has a bright future at the quarterback position, especially with Jaden Daniels. I think you build.
He is incredible.
He's gonna
They
be.
picked up Javon Holland on the back end, though. I don't know how y'all feel about
Javon
that.
Holland's
They
a
still
good
got,
safety.
That's my
they got
homeboy.
Deontay Banks.
Deontay Banks, a great corner. Like they
Overrated.
What you say, Marsh?
That's my OG son. He was my coach my first 2 years in the CFL.
Oh hell yeah,
Robert Holland. So me and him real this day. That's his son.
I like Javon. Javon's underrated, but Deontay doesn't move me. Deontay doesn't. I'm sorry, he just doesn't move me. But he's not bad though. He's not bad. But like, the problem is it's the same problem they've had the last 10 years. The offensive line sucks. And it sucks. Like they don't. It's not like that. They don't have like they have like who's that one tackle? Their one tackle's all right, but bro, they don't. They're
on the right side, right?
Andrew Thomas.
Yeah, he's good. But then you've got 4 other dudes. There's just too many question marks. And with the quarterback like Wilson at this point, Wilson's over the hill. Dart comes in. If you're not going to protect Dart, he's going to suck too.
Dart is actually third.
Young.
Jameis Winston, the backup.
Yeah, so then shout out early, but this whole Jackson Dart, oh my God, can't even beat out Jameis Winston. Let's be real. But also Camp's early. He might get the number 2 spot, bro. No, all I'm saying though is the way that people were talking about Jackson Dart, and early I don't care about. Early wasn't that bad, but the people were hyping Jackson Dart up like he had some Josh Allen arm strength, like he was this gifted. And if you're telling me that he can't beat out Jameis at this point, because it's like he's a young QB, if the young QB is 5% worse than the older QB, they will give the young QB the spot because it's development. You know what I'm saying? If he can't beat out Winston, bro, I'm not trying to really hear it. I'm not trying to. And I mean, Tracy is good, but you need an offensive line as a running back to be like that. You can't. You're not just gonna like freaking put up 1,500 yards with a trash O line. So their offense just sucks. And if their offense is bottom 5, it's gonna make their defense worse.
Yeah.
So that's
I think Russ can kind of maneuver a little bit more in the pocket, other than like Daniel Jones and the Italian. I think having
he's
Russ
smarter for sure.
Better. He's smarter. Can kind of move better.
So the Giants' first 4 games is at Commanders, at Cowboys, the Chiefs and Chargers at home.
Damn.
0-4.
God.
0-4. 0-4.
Because look, I would say that defensive line could give Dallas problems, but bro, they haven't beat Dallas in 8 years. In 8 years, they have not beat Dallas. And it's gonna come eventually. I'm not saying that it's gonna be.
It might be this year, though. Believe it or
not. It could be. That's crazy. It could be.
It
could be.
That's crazy that you said that. Wow.
No, Bama. It could be because it's been a long time. But I'm not gonna bet them winning a game until they show me that they can win, bro.
Wait, the Cowboys?
No, the Giants beating the Cowboys.
Oh, the Giants beating
the Cowboys. The last time was in New York when Odell took that slant like 70 yards. That was the last time.
Wow,
it's crazy, bro. It's actually wild.
Yeah, I think they go probably 1-3, 0-4. I ain't gonna lie, that's a tough one.
That is a gauntlet. I did not realize that. And to end off with the NFC East, we got to defend the Super Bowl champs. I feel like this, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like Jesse right now from Breaking Bad. They can't keep getting away with this because they just got Jahad Campbell with the 31st pick and Andrew Mabuka in the second round.
The quarter, right?
The safety. And it's they gotta have like the best GM in. He gotta be fucking doing fucking blood sacrifices or something of that nature. Because
how we get so lucky, man?
How do they just keep getting away with that, bro? Like, I don't understand. Like, it's no way you have Matt Braun and then you get to follow up with that and get Jahad Campbell in the draft. When the year before, you just got fucking Nakobe Dean, bro. Like, that is just.
And Quayon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean in one draft.
Hey, I
think
Philly has an excellent opportunity. I just think it's gonna be tough because they got their X on 'em. And it's hard. It's hard to do an encore in this league.
Well, I
Um,
will say that because there's teams that get underestimated and
mhm.
then win games because you think that it's going to be easy when it's not.
But
And
OG, they ain't
nobody's
overpaid nobody. They ain't overpaid
But
nobody.
then
They
how many
working with a
free
lot
agents
of
did
people
y'all
on
lose?
rookie deals.
No, 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 no. How many free agents did y'all lose?
they
Only
lost.
CJ, right?
So I don't like
Gardner
CJ. CJ's
Johnson.
not as a person. I don't care
Oh,
about, but I don't think
Yeah,
he's as
they
good as
lost.
people think he
Okay,
is.
the Kobe Dean went on the physically unable to perform in what you call
The
they
publish.
sign, yeah, publish. It don't go back that far. Let me see,
well, I
2024.
mean, it's not so much that. Then you
Let
got
me
to factor
see.
in Saquon Barkley had one of the best years that a running back could have. It's gonna be hard to duplicate that shit. So that's what I'm saying. It's when you look at championship teams, because I was blessed and fortunate enough to win two of them. It's dude, them teams hard to keep together, and it be the most simple shit that catapults you to a win. It's locker room chemistry. It's so many different variables that go into that. So I'm not saying they can't do it. I'm just saying it's going to be hard. That's
Yeah,
why I was very impressed with the Kansas City Chiefs because it's hard. They a marked team, and Mahomes is who he is, and they still are being successful. So that's why when earlier I was talking about levels to this shit in terms of quarterback play, that's the type of shit I'm talking about. He know he's marked. He know he's the guy. Everybody, it ain't no secret. The cat's out the bag. So now when you can keep doing it year after year after year after year after year, that's what puts you in them elite level conversations. That's what I want to see happen with Jalen Hurts. Now, if he does this shit again this year, then that conversation it needs to be had.
They got
I
But
don't
Jeremiah
think that
Carter
their
Jr.
offense, like
too.
their offense, could take a step down, but I think if their offense does take a step back, then their defense will exceed. Because Jalen Carter to me is going to be,
Jordan Davis lost weight.
honestly,
Troy
he'll be the
Davis.
second best defensive tackle in the league, other than Dexter Lawrence, because he's just that freaking good. And then the other young guys that they have, I don't see Quinion or Cooper being frauds. They're too gifted as players for me to like
Then Nolan
Only
Smith.
for them
question
to be
mark is
frauds.
is is Keely Ringo and Makuba
Yeah,
because this their first time on the defense. So if they don't play well, then you know probably who to blame. But
yeah.
well, it's
Yeah,
not
like their safeties are
so much
kind of an
that.
issue.
Wasn't Darius with them last year?
Yeah, he
yeah, you know
was.
he got traded
Right.
to
Steelers.
Steelers.
So
Yeah,
that's my point. So when you get a good KG veteran guy like that, it's a lot of elements that go into that locker room. It's a lot of elements that go into why they win. I'm not saying they can't do it. I'm just saying it's going to be difficult. Now, if Jalen goes in and he ups what he did last year, now you talking about persistent and consistent. Now we talking about encore. Now we're talking about a guy who needs to be in that conversation. I think Philly is a very good football team in all three facets of the game because they showed it. They put it on. They put motherfuckers on notice last year. And if you can run the ball like that in today's game, you got a damn chance.
Mhm.
And that's why I think everybody is kind of on the edge of their seat with Baltimore because that's a machine too. It's just coming up short in the big game. So I think
Mm-hmm.
I think like I said, Philly team makeup is kind of the same way Baltimore is. Very
They
very
just have more
defensively.
weapons on the
Versus
outside.
so they
Yeah,
first four
yeah.
games versus Cowboys at Chiefs versus Rams at Buccaneers. What we
Mm.
looking at for us with the first four games with the
Chiefs, Rams, Bucks,
Eagles?
and then Cowboys. Is that what you said?
Cowboys first, then Chiefs, then Rams, then
that's
Bucks.
not easy for either though. That's
Oh,
not.
that
Yeah.
could be a 2-2. That could
That's why
be
I'm gonna probably say 2-2.
2.
I'll probably
I'll probably go
say
3-1.
I'll probably
Probably
say
go
3-1 too. I think they could lose to. They're not losing to Dallas unless Jalen
We
Hurts
say that.
sucks. They're just not going
We
to,
can't
bro.
say
They just it's like David defense
actually Rams. I think they might lose to the Rams, but
like
yeah.
bro because the problem with the Cowboys is their centers and guards are besides Tyler Smith are weak, and if they line up Carter away from Tyler Smith, then it's going to be a big problem. He's just going to get through every time. And they also have a good they have a good defensive line as a whole. But yeah, the other teams, I mean, if the Bucks put up 35, then they could beat them. but like their defense is not good enough to stop that team. I'm like literally like unless what's his name, their left tackle or no, their right Lane Johnson, unless he becomes washed, like I don't see them. Their offensive line will probably be the same because the offensive line coach makes like every freaking journeyman that goes there into an all-pro. So I don't know.
Like when you got Philly versus Tampa, that's not a walk in the park. When you got even though the Cowboys be on their bullshit, that's not a walk in the park.
No, it's division.
It's division. So they could literally, and then I think Philly will stumble out as the defending champs. So I'm gonna say 2-2.
Nothing wrong with that. Moving right along to the NFC North division that was won by the Minnesota Vikings the Detroit Lions. I'm sorry. The Detroit Lions last year really came down to those two, though. That was crazy. Both of those teams, how good they were. A lot of people think that they might get 3 teams in the playoffs this year. We'll start with the Minnesota Vikings. They get J.J. McCarthy back as the quarterback. You know who they have on offense. I think my boy Jordan Addison might be out for a few games. But
what happened? What happened?
If I'm not mistaken, isn't he supposed to be out for PEDs? If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, for real? I didn't see that.
I don't know. I might be wrong, but I know. I think he's supposed. Or did he miss games last year for that? I might be having my years mixed up, but
it might be this year. I didn't hear about it.
But you know, Justin Jefferson already said he's quarterback proof. And that defense, I believe they was like number 2 in the league last year in pass defense. Byron Murphy, Kai Beckman, Harrison Hitman Smith, Isaiah Rodgers, Andrew Van Ginkel. I think he might be underrated for as one of the better defensive players in the league.
Yeah.
Javon Hargrave, Mr. Consistency from South Carolina State. No matter where he goes, that dude puts in work. Jonathan Allen, Jonathan Greenyer, Harrison Phillips, Ivan Pace Jr. What the first 4 games? Let me look at the first 4 games for these guys too. You got Chicago on Monday night, Atlanta nighttime game versus Atlanta. They come into Minnesota. Sunday you got Cincinnati, and then you end off with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think this is a schedule I can easily see them going 3-1, 4-0.
I think my thing is concerned with them.
I'm about to say 2-2 because Crooked said in the comments, those division games get tricky. You think the team is supposed to win?
They'll lose.
Yeah, they'll lose, bro. Like no one plays you harder in your division because you see them twice a year. So.
They know you better. The coaches have the best game plans for them.
But when you talk about these division games, they're totally different games. So you can't. It's hard to say. That's why I said with Philly, capable, but it 2-2. I think the Vikings is 2-2 because
2-2.
I want to see how Chicago.
Who you think they beat?
I think they could beat Chicago, but then again, if Caleb do his thing from year 1 to year 2, that could be a totally different looking team. You know what I'm saying? Then you're talking about Cincinnati. I don't think do they play Cincinnati in Cincinnati?
No, Cincinnati go to Minnesota.
But that's another situation, Burrow. I
think the one thing with me with the Vikings, man, it's really all up to JJ how he play. Like this team on paper, and they have one.
He just can't wet the bed though. He just can't wet the bed.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But again, at the same time, he can.
That's true.
They got a great coaching staff. I mean, a top 3 coaching staff on paper, defensively, great defense. You know,
Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason, they upgraded with the running back.
But like to F.Dot's point,
it's JJ.
Yeah, he can't wet the bed, but this isn't a team that's going to be able to run the ball the way that his Michigan teams did. They're going to win games by that passing attack because that's
why they can't though with Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason though.
Aaron Jones ain't like that, bro. He's overrated, bro. He's
Jordan Mason like that though. That's an upgrade for a number 2 running back. And you got T.J. Hawkinson, and you got the best fullback in the league, and C.J. Ham.
Yeah, C.J. Ham. Hey, regardless
of whether their running backs are whatever, Mason's good, and Jones is still like top 12 to 15. It's just their offensive line isn't bad, but I don't think it's good enough for them to run the ball the way that Michigan did that one year. Like, all I'm saying is that for them to be like you saw last year, for them to be as good as they were, Darnold had to make throws. It wasn't like those throws were like, high quality, super tight window stuff, but he still had to read the field and throw like, 40, or 35 times a game. So that's going to be the problem. It's just you're asking him to do something he didn't even do in college. That's my thing. But whether if he plays ball, then they should make the playoffs.
He don't have to play the same way he played in college. I mean, here's the thing too. When we all think of the Vikings, I don't care what subconsciously we see Adrian Peterson. We're not going to see another Adrian Peterson in the Vikings no time soon. So you don't have to be that. You just got to be effective. We need a guy that could pick up 4 here, 6 there, pop off 12. Just a decent NFL running game. That's all you really need.
Aaron Jones got that.
Yeah. So I mean, if you could muster that, I can very well see 3-1, 2-2. Now,
no, they could.
The caveats to it is Caleb year 2 in Chicago. When they see them, that's kind of one of them situations. So quarterback. You got Burrow, you got Caleb. What's the other game, man?
The Cowboys, right?
You got Dak. So now you're looking at his performance stacked up against those guys.
Oh, you talking about the Vikings, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Then you said the Cowboys played them?
You said the first 4 was Cincinnati.
First 4 was Chicago, Falcons, Bengals, and Steelers.
Oh, Steelers.
Then you got Aaron Rodgers and that shit over there in Pittsburgh.
Their
so
defense too.
Yeah, I mean,
Steelers defense gonna be tough.
I think the defense is more, but like, yeah, I just think
What
if
you
they
call
want
might
to
lose
be
his job this
dynamic,
year.
if they want to be dynamic like they were last year on offense, it's going to be through the air because that's where their best players are.
Yeah.
Like they have Jordan Addison. Well, Jordan Addison's going to be suspended for like 3 games, but he'll be back. And then what's his name? Jefferson and Hawkinson. That's where they're going to be the best at because that's just where the best players are. So that's my thing. But yeah, I think they'll make the playoffs. I think this whole division is really, really good. I think it's the best division in the league, but I don't think that it's like there's still question marks on each team though. Like
Moving
last
right
year,
along.
those teams were nice. My bad.
Moving right along to the Chicago Bears. We was just talking about them, the reemergence. They got Ben Johnson as their coach now, former play caller for the Lions that we love so much with all his good plays. Their depth chart so far will be Caleb Williams, DeAndre Swift, DJ Moore, Roma Dunze, Luther Burton III, Cole Kmet, Colston Loveland, as well as that offensive line. They revamped Darnell Wright, Jonah Jackson, Drew Dahlman, Joe Thuney, Braxton Jones. They defense looking pretty solid. Kevin Byard, Tariq Stevenson, of course, Jalen Johnson, top 10 cornerback in the league, Jaquan Bisker, Tremont Edmonds, linebacker, Montez Sweat, Grady Jarrett. They got him over there from Falcons. So I think this team, low expectations, but I think they can overachieve this year. Mm-hmm. Pretty much what you said, OG, depending on what Caleb Williams do, is how good or bad they will be. Here's a picture with him with fingernail polish, but
because I think, if they're coaching, if they can get the same production at their defense the last 2 years, because the dude that Eberflus is a good defensive coach. He just couldn't get the offense figured out. But I do think that it just rides on Caleb. That I'll keep it short.
First 4 games versus Vikings at home, at the Lions versus Cowboys at Raiders.
I think they 2-2.
2-2, yeah.
Raiders and Vikings. I can see them being both.
Whoa! What?
I know. I'm sorry.
Unc, you guys have a guy. Like, who's your quarterback? If you guys get average QB
Gino,
play,
Gino good. I mean,
Gino good though.
Gino.
I forgot about
Gino's fine.
Yeah.
Gino's fine, and we got the running back, and then we
got the running back.
I think
Jacoby Myers.
8 to 10 wins. I think we could do.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. With Gino, it's a different. It's just the O-line has to protect him more.
Right.
Bad, but yeah.
So yeah, I agree. I think the Bears 2-2. I think we'll get that ass. the Raiders will get them, but I think 2-2. It's tough with
Shout out
division,
Max Crosby, man.
huh?
Max
I
Crosby.
said shout out Mad Max Crosby.
Hey, Crosby nasty.
That boy definitely.
Nice.
Moving right along, go over to the Green Bay Packers, team that made the playoffs as well. Headlined by Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs. They drafted Matthew Golden in the first round, which I got real high hopes for him. Romeo Dobbs, I want to see what he can do as well. Tucker Kraft, one of the more slept on tight ends in the league. Question mark is still the O-line, and can Jordan Love stay healthy enough to get them to where they need to be? Their defensive secondary was lights out, headlined by Xavier McKinney. Shouts out my dog. First 4 games for these guys, you got versus Detroit, versus the Commanders, at Cleveland, at Dallas. How we feel about them in their first 4 games, and what could they record possibly? It looked like a 3. It could be 3-1.
3-1,
2-2.
3-1.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 3-1.
I'll go 3-1.
The reason
Golden, man.
The reason I'm gonna say that is I was highly impressed with Love. I think the fix was in with that 49er game. That because that shouldn't even been close. I don't even know how the 49ers end up winning that shit, but just the him, Jaden, then like I like these group of young quarterbacks, bro. And he looks so poised back there doing his thing. And then obviously you gotta get some years under your belt to the point where in those big games you don't make costly mistakes, especially in the red zone.
That's the thing.
So
and I feel like it's
just the turnovers.
It's a reading the field thing too, because when you don't read the field at level, sometimes you make mistakes. But I think it's more of they need to get one guy. Hopefully, it's Matthew Golden that can unleash who Jordan Love is as a playmaker. Because if you don't have somebody that can't go over the top with Jordan Love, it just doesn't make any sense. You need somebody, because he's not a game manager. He's somebody who's going to make big plays. You need somebody that can actually do that. And then defensively, last year I felt like they were like top 7 to 10. They were like a legit defense last year, and they still have a lot of those guys, but they do miss a couple guys. So that's also, I think if their defense can be what they were last year, then they could win this division legitimately.
Yeah, when you got Josh Jacobs, when you got a solid running
top 3 running back in the league, dude.
Yeah, and I'm mad he gone, but whatever. At the end of the day,
he gave a story. They just didn't respect him over there.
Here's the deal: when you got a good running game, when you got a good running game, when you got a good running game and you got a good ass defense, now you put a legit future elite, super elite guy at the quarterback position. That is a good combination right there, because he doesn't have to. He has time to kind of come into his own because he know he has a solid defense and he has a solid running game. So it takes some of the pressure, huh?
I said the pressure's not all on him all the time.
All on him all the time. So he has time to. His maturation process can take what it needs to take for him to get to where he ultimately will be, because he has those things in place. Just like with Lamar Jackson, you got into a situation where you had a real good defense, and Baltimore historically is defense running back like Pittsburgh. So all you got to do is really come in there and do you and not fuck it up. So I think Green Bay, like I said, what I saw in that 49er game, I was very impressed, and I think he can do it. It's just now, do they get all the pieces on the same page, and can Josh Jacobs stay healthy, and can that defense replicate what they were doing last year? If they do that, they're like a 11-12 win team, I think.
Yeah.
So they first 4 games versus Lions, versus Commanders, at Browns, at Cowboys.
3-1.
I'm gonna go 3-1 too.
That Detroit game could be trouble though.
I think that's the game they lose. To me, that's the game they
definitely could.
Yeah, they could lose against Dallas, but I doubt it. Is it
to end off the NFC North, we have the Detroit Lions, a roster headlined by Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, and of course, you got the receivers Jamison Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think Jamison Williams takes that next leap, which one reason what I would stay for is in fantasy away from Sam Laporta, because the emergence, especially in the passing game, with the emergence of somebody got to lose some type of production, and I don't think Amon-Ra loses production because he's so versatile. He does everything so well. Yeah. So I don't think his production drops off that far. I think Sam Laporta is the person that loses his production. Doesn't mean that he's a bad tight end. I just think he
lost production last year, too, from the year before.
Also on defense, Aiden Hutchinson comes back. He's a favorite to win comeback player of the year. They got DJ Reed over there from the Jets. Brian Branch, Terry and Arnold, I think, takes another leap this year. Kirby Joseph, Amik Robertson. This secondary is still, man, hell of a secondary, dude. I think this defense is something to be reckoned with this year.
This is what I'm happy about. Aaron Glenn being the head coach, and we seeing the new identity of the Detroit Lions. So that's going to be the key part. And that's kind of where you see them brewing last year. They got pieces, but then it's like, okay, now we got a coaching change. So
no. Glenn's in
Jets, New York.
Jets.
Oh, I'm tripping.
Yeah, he left. He left. Yeah. No, you're good.
So, my bad. So anyway,
who took that? Anyways, who is the DC now? Who their DC now?
Exactly. He was the DC in Detroit last year.
Yeah, no, I'm saying who is it now though? Since he left,
I don't know.
I know. Okay.
Even if we did, I mean, who knows what's gonna happen? But yeah, that's my thing. They are by far the most talented team. They are. If their coaches, if their offensive coordinator and their defensive coordinator are good, then they can compete with the Eagles. But
I ain't gonna lie though.
Thing I'm worried about their coordinators.
They 4 games though is a gauntlet though. At Packers versus Bears, at Ravens versus the Browns.
They're gonna have to win this division.
Well, the Browns, I think they lose to us. I think they go 3-1 still, lose to us, lose the Ravens.
Yeah. The Browns ain't worrying.
But you know what?
I don't know. Browns got Mason Graham, Miles Garrett still over there, Denzel Ward.
It's all about their offense.
But early in the season, Baltimore early in the season, I could see maybe losing one because they're gonna
lose one.
But the thing with Baltimore, man, Lamar only lost like once or twice to NFC teams in the regular season. They just don't. You just not gonna be an NFC team and go over there and
no. I get that, but I'm saying these teams are improved. Detroit is vastly improved. The Browns, I ain't gonna even hold you. They defense is like that to me.
Yeah, for sure. That defense always been like that though. It hasn't not been like that.
Exactly.
Shador finna take them new heights. I'm finna tell you. By week 4, Shador should be playing.
You don't gotta tell me.
Shador should be playing by week 4.
We talk about these division games. They get tough, bro. It's a lot of 2 and 3 and 1s.
Yeah, for sure. Division games get tough. Shit, I seen us losing Jameis Winston with the Browns.
They gotta win those 2 division games, bro. They have to.
All right, fellas. We will finish up the NFC West next week. I got to get up out of here. Got a little busy. Got to go handle something real quick. But like I said, we'll finish off with the NFC West because I do want to hear how y'all feel about the 49ers and as well as the Rams, because those are the 2 teams with the big question mark. I feel like the other 2 teams, they got low expectations, even though Kyler Murray should do something this year, because I don't know how many years can we accept him being the butt of the NFC West. Yeah. So we will come back next week, probably a little bit earlier, man, probably like 7 p.m. Eastern my time or 4 p.m. Pacific time. That way we can really break down these conferences because we getting real close to football, man. I can feel it. I'm starting to shake it. I'm starting to shake, man, because I've been bored over here talking about these and these YNs on Trent Show been making my hair fall out, discrediting these OGs, man. Like these dudes didn't pave a way for us to be here, man. So, until next week, I always appreciate y'all showing up. Marsh, F. Mike, we out next week.
All right, for sure.
All right, fellas.
All right, fellas.